You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
That I will nominate Judge Brett Kavanaugh to the United States Supreme Court.
President Trump announced his second nominee to the U.S. Supreme Court in a prime-time address last night.
And crews in Thailand headed back into the cave early this morning to carry out their final mission, rescuing the last 4 out of that cave.
2 JetBlue Airlines in the headlines this morning, how 2 flight attendants were able to save a dog's life. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. And good morning. It is Tuesday, July 10th. Glad you're with us. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. I saw a couple flashes of lightning.
Me too.
As I was coming in. Is that a precursor of the day, John Scalzi, or is that all we're going to get today?
No, it's going to be out there in the Gulf waters for a while, no doubt about that. Can we have traffic in the monitor, please? We're looking at a few clouds out here in Gulf waters, and that Gulf water shower and thunderstorm activity will continue on throughout the morning day. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot over land, though, so that's going to be kind of similar to yesterday, actually. We have some drier air filtering in from the northeast, that northeast wind kind of pushing these showers out into the Gulf. A few Atlantic showers may make it onshore from about Lauderdale down to Miami through the Florida Keys, but really nothing more than that. You can see the lightning pops that are existing out there, according to our lightning detection network, and they really haven't moved a whole lot. Watch the general motion of these storms as we track them out here on Titan radar. And you can see it's basically north to south with a little bit of a westerly flow drift. So I don't think we'll see much in the way of your morning commute in terms of inclement weather. We're looking at, again, today, only about a 10% chance at a shower or two, and consequently some warm temperatures coming up around 92 degrees. Back to you guys.
All right. Thank you so much, John. Well, President Trump made his much anticipated pick to the U.S. Supreme Court, announcing it last night in a primetime address. D.C. federal judge Brett Kavanaugh is his pick to replace retiring Justice Anthony Kennedy. ABC's Stephanie Ramos reports from outside the Supreme Court this morning.
President Trump, in a primetime television event at the White House, announced Judge Brett Kavanaugh as his second U.S. Supreme Court justice nominee less than 2 years into his presidency.
Mr. President, I am grateful to you, and I'm humbled by your confidence in me.
Kavanaugh, a conservative choice, serving key positions in the Bush White House and the independent counsel on Ken Starr's team investigating Bill Clinton. Later, having second thoughts about whether presidents should be subjected to prosecution and investigations, a stance that could be a big deal if the Supreme Court ever has to rule on any actions resulting from the Russia investigation. But a major question still lingers: the future of Roe v. Wade, legalized abortion. Kavanaugh highlighting the achievements of the women in his life, while also trying to clear up any misconceptions about what he may do to current law.
A judge must interpret statutes as written, and a judge must interpret the Constitution as written, informed by history and tradition and precedent.
Activists protesting his nomination on the court steps.
Kavanaugh has got to go.
Democratic senators also there.
President Trump did exactly what he said he was going to do. He has appointed someone who will not protect a woman's right to make decisions about her life, her health care, her reproductive freedom.
Kavanaugh said last night he'd be meeting with senators today, already trying to win over lawmakers ahead of his confirmation hearings, which are bound to be a fight between Republicans and Democrats. At the Supreme Court, Stephanie Ramos, ABC News.
Checking first alert traffic. Here's the scene in Manatee County, 301 southbound as you cross over State Road 70. Some congestion there. Otherwise, pretty clear in Manatee County. The northern half of Sarasota shows some buildup on Clark Road, eastbound as you cross over, McIntosh and head into Palmer Ranch. And then our final map to the south will show nothing to report at 5:04 on your Tuesday morning. A mission group from the Woodland Community Church in Bradenton is finally back home after being stranded 2 days in Haiti. The 28 missionaries, most of them teens, were supposed to come home Saturday, but because of the violent protests over fuel prices, they came home late last night. It was a happy reunion with family and friends, although it was a long day that began in Port-au-Prince and took the group to Miami as well as Orlando and Tampa. Everybody there was happy to be back home in Bradenton.
We didn't see any rioting or protesting where we were, thankfully, and so we just made the decision to turn the bus around and head back to the My Life Speaks campus where we knew we were safe. And it's a good thing we did, because our flight ended up being canceled.
We left like really early in the morning to like miss all of it, but they just decided that like up the road wouldn't be safer later in the day, so we decided to turn around and just like stay there for a couple more days.
The group from Woodland Community Church spent about a week in Haiti. They were on a mission to work with physically challenged kids in that country.
And a developing story out of Thailand this morning. Day 3 in the rescue mission to bring the final 5 out of that cave that they've been trapped in now for the past 18 days. Today, the plan is to bring out the remaining 4 boys and their soccer coach. Now, so far, 8 have been rescued. The rescue boys have each been quarantined in hospitals in case any of them have contracted any infections inside that cave. Now, so far, families of the first 4 boys have been able to see their children, but through a glass window at the hospital. Now, so far, most of them are healthy. One of the boys did have a lung inflammation, but it is being treated. Now, they're likely to all have to stay at the hospital for about a week because of their weakened immune systems after being in the cave so long. Coming up at 5:30, we're going to have the father of one of the youngest boys trapped inside of the cave. He's going to be speaking out. And of course, looking forward to this one. ABC is planning to air a special edition of 2020 tonight, focusing on that rescue mission in Thailand. It starts at 9 o'clock right here on ABC 7. And happening tonight, a public meeting on a roundabout that will be placed on 15th Street, Martin Luther King Avenue in Bradenton. The state DOT says they hope the new addition will ease some of the traffic congestion in that area. Marla Spence is live there with a preview of tonight's meeting. Marla?
Hey, good morning, guys. There have been talks about placing a roundabout in this area for some time now, and finally those talks will soon become a reality in hopes of easing traffic in this area. Now, according to the Florida Department of Transportation, they say the new roundabout will be placed on Old State Road 70. Many may know this area to be 15th Street or Martin Luther King Avenue East and 9th Avenue East. Now, it's not too far from the historic village in Bradenton. Construction is expected to begin this month on the 23rd, and that means the intersection will be closed for about 6 months to complete the roundabout. Now tonight, FDOT is urging the community to come out to a public meeting on the roundabout. Coming up at 5:30, we're going to be giving you the details on that new roundabout and what you can do if you want to learn more information on that meeting and the new roundabout that'll be placed in this area. Reporting live in Bradenton, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. The Charlotte County Sheriff's Office is reminding drivers to lock their doors. They arrested 3 people for 9 car burglaries in Port Charlotte. All the cars were unlocked. It happened on Gillette Boulevard, Bittman Street, and El Salvador Road. Surveillance video from one of the victims' homes showed 2 burglars driving a black golf cart with special wheels. Detectives arrested 2 juveniles who now face 15 charges each. They also arrested another teen on lesser charges after providing a statement to detectives. A Massachusetts couple is crediting 2 JetBlue flight attendants for saving their dog's life. Michelle Burt was traveling with her husband and 3 dogs from their vacation home near Orlando, headed back to their main home in Massachusetts. Now, on the flight, their 3-year-old French bulldog, Darcy, started showing some signs of distress. Her tongue and her gums were turning blue. She started panting frantically. Well, 2 flight attendants quickly brought her ice bags to cool the dog down, then an oxygen tank that you see here with this mask that the dog could breathe through. Now, Bert says Darcy rebounded in just a few minutes thanks to those quick-thinking flight attendants, and she was fine the rest of the flight. Well, very resourceful there.
Yeah.
Caught on camera a gator in the Gulf. This is the second time in recent weeks the gator has been spotted swimming near the beach. This was on Boca Grande on Lighthouse Beach. You don't see a lot of gators around the Gulf, do you?
No, I feel like there's other things out there we need to continually be a little bit worried about. I'm not sure I need to see gators out there, too. I got a list of things I'm already worried about out there.
Sort of bumps red tide in perspective.
Yeah, right? I'll take the red tide.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, happening today, about half the migrant children under 5 years of age who were separated from their parents at the border should be back with their moms and dads today.
And coming up a little later in the hour, check your mailbox. The vote by mail ballots for the upcoming August primary election will soon be in the mail. We're going to tell you just when you can expect yours.
Here's a live shot of a busy place from last night. There's the White House last night at 9 o'clock.
Wonder what they're talking about there today.
Yes. Well, the nominee for the Supreme Court is going off to Capitol Hill today, Brett Kavanaugh.
That is right.
Quite a prime time happening last night. More on that throughout the hour. First, A peek at the local forecast from John Scalzi.
So we're looking at a nice start to the day. We have some showers and thunderstorms out in Gulf waters. No worries, they stay there. We are looking at quiet conditions with none of the inclement weather boxes checked this morning. Drive to work looks good, upper 70s. Drive home, warm, upper 80s to near 90 with just maybe an isolated well inland storm. And I do mean isolated. Rain chance today about 10%. All the airport hubs serving Sarasota International running on time according to the FAA. Forecast in just a moment.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Judy here, I think hospice was a tremendous source of support for her.
Absolutely. With Jennifer and Kimberly and Liza's constant contact with us, coming in, just knowing that there was someone with knowledge there to back us up, to answer our questions, it made a world of difference.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke, it's a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we look at generally a temperature about where we were yesterday. Yesterday we were at 77, so today we're at 76. We have a dew point value about the same as yesterday, 74 degrees, not much change there. Winds are out of the east now at about 5, kind of light. We either have a northerly wind or a northeasterly wind throughout the day and through about the last 16 hours or so. And that'll continue on today as well. So by 7 a.m. we have plenty of clear sky out there. We have a temperature of about 78 degrees and another warm day in store for us. Many hours of temperatures at or close to the 90-degree mark this afternoon, with very little in the way of any kind of cooling rain showers coming our way this afternoon as well. So by 12 noon, we're close to the 90 mark. By 3, we're at 92. We have about a 10%, that's it, chance of rain showers today, high UV index. Beautiful beach weather today. And if you have any kind of outdoor activities planned or need to do any kind of outdoor work, well, it looks like it's going to be a fine day in terms of rain showers, no doubt about that. We had a general northeasterly wind flow yesterday around the circulation of Chris, and it produced a line of showers north of us where the moisture was a little greater. That line kind of drifted out into Gulf waters, and that's what we're seeing now. That's where the flashes of lightning that you are seeing off in the distance are coming from storms that are indirectly the consequence of a tropical storm located a good distance away from us that will never directly influence our weather. Kind of neat, huh? Those showers will continue to drift out into the Gulf waters and eventually just fade away. Locally, we don't have anything going on in terms of any kind of showers, thunderstorms, or any inclement weather for your morning commute. Everything's good, and it'll stay that way probably for your trip home as well. There should be no issues. So, here's Chris, continue to spin. At this hour, it looks pretty impressive, actually. It's got good circulation. It's got a clearly defined center. It's got symmetry in all quadrants. And there's, I'm surprised it hasn't reached hurricane status yet, but it's certainly on the way to doing that, I think. Looking at the explosion of thunderstorms that are kind of encompassing the circulation here, this is a strengthening system, it looks to me like, and it is heading off, I think, eventually to the northeast, but right now it's pretty much stationary. It is, however, continuing to wrap around some drier air. That's what this tan color is, and that too influences our weather again today in terms of kind of limiting the number of showers and thunderstorms the state of Florida sees. Further out, we still have the remnants of Beryl. Beryl's still kind of a diffuse collection of clouds with actually none of those thunderstorms talking to each other, so there's no organization. And that's the way it's going to be for a couple of days till it exits Haiti, Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rico. Now, once it lifts northward, there is some suggestion that as it goes north, it could start to gain in intensity a little bit, and then it gets pushed back out into the Atlantic. The other storm, Chris, also does just about the same. It's pretty close to hurricane status at 70 miles an hour. Forecast track carries it out into the open waters of the Atlantic as we head into the next several days, and a trough of low pressure advances off the east coast. Right now, a stalled frontal boundary, really not pushing Chris all that much. We continue with the winds out of the east or northeast. Eventually, another trough sinks southward, another front that kind of kicks Chris out of here. We have a little upper level trough that moves across the Florida Straits, and we have generally a high pressure area that produces a westerly wind as we head on down the road. All of those things combining together to eventually enhance our rainfall chance for the weekend. A little bit, not much. We'll still be below average. We're looking at a northwest wind at about 10 knots today, and the forecast calls for 92 today, tomorrow, the day after, close to that. Rain chances minimal until we get to the weekend when we can bump up the rain chances to still below average, but a little higher than we've seen for the work week. Back to you.
Thank you so much, John. Let's take a look outside and check your first alert traffic. Starting off in Manatee County, not too bad out there, just our normal delays right there on 301 and State Road 70. Then a little bit farther south, if you head into Sarasota County, those roads are actually looking pretty decent. Just a couple delays on 41 as you go around the bay, but pretty normal for around this time of the morning. A little farther south into Sarasota, if you're traveling south on 75 or 41, both of those roads are actually running pretty smooth so far this morning. It's 5:18, and that is your first alert traffic. Well, today marks the deadline imposed by a federal judge that requires the Trump administration to reunite more than 100 immigrant children with their parents. But the administration has said they can't make the deadline. But there is some good news, though. Dozens of kids under 5 have been reunited with their parents. Andrew Spencer reports on the judge who set the deadline, says he's encouraged that they will be able to reunite everyone soon.
A list provided by the Department of Justice identifies 102 immigrant children under age 5 who were separated from adults at the border. As dozens of kids reunite with their families, dozens more are still being detained. The ACLU, which filed a lawsuit to have all immigrant children reunited with their families, does not expect the Trump administration to face any consequences.
I think we're a long way from the court saying I'm going to sanction the government. I think now he feels like the government is working good faith, finally working to get this reunification done. We're hoping that's right, and it moves forward.
In a court hearing yesterday, the federal judge overseeing the case said he was very encouraged. This is real progress, he said, and I'm optimistic that many of these families will be reunited Tuesday, and then we'll have a very clear understanding as to who has not been reunited, why not, and what time frame will be in place. There are several reasons 46 other kids are not yet being reunited with parents who are in ICE custody. For some of them, it's because their parents aren't in ICE custody anymore. For 9 of those kids, their parents were already released. For another 9, their parents were already deported. For 12 other kids, their parents are in criminal custody. And for 3 of the young children, officials say the adult who was with them when they were detained was not actually their parent. Today's deadline isn't the last. The judge had also ordered the Trump administration to reunite more than 2,000 kids by July 26th. I'm Andrew Spencer, reporting.
Still to come on Good Morning Suncoast, a new Snapchat feature is being tested out, how it's bringing together Amazon into its software. We're going to tell you about it in today's Tech Bites.
Next half hour at 5:30, how to achieve financial freedom in 5 years.
Win the lottery.
We'll be watching. We'll tell you what the experts are advising.
We'll
but first,
taking notes.
Yeah, here's some good news from Thailand this morning.
Some very good news that we just got into the newsroom. A 9th boy has now been rescued from that Thailand cave. So now they're down to just 3 more boys and the coach. And as we were talking about earlier, each one of the boys, as they're brought out, they're brought into quarantine in a hospital just to make sure they're okay health-wise and all that good stuff. They'll all be in there about a week, but some fantastic news this morning out of Thailand.
More updates on the way right here on ABC 7.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffy Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Well, one California couple wasn't going to let a little wildfire ruin their special day. Ellie and Taylor Denny were tying the knot on Saturday when the wildfire caused a change in their wedding plans. So the couple saw the fire quickly approaching their wedding site. They knew they had to begin the ceremony quick, even without most of their guests. They cut the 30-minute ceremony down to about 5 minutes, said, "I do, let's get out of here," and started the mandatory evacuation. After reaching the safety of a local hotel, though, the couple began the celebration. But but not before restating their vows in front of all the guests. But they did have some interesting backdrops as well. This is the second couple that has gotten married in the path of a wildfire, and they sort of incorporate it into the day too. It's one of those things that makes it memorable, good or bad.
That's for sure, yes.
Got those vows read. Well, Microsoft has unveiled its new tablet, and the bonus, cheaper price tag.
The story in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Microsoft's new tablet.
The Surface Go has a 10-inch screen, Windows 10, and 64 gigs of storage. It starts at $400. That's about half the price of Microsoft's larger, more powerful Surface Pro. Snapchat may be teaming up with Amazon. TechCrunch reports there's a hidden code for camera-assisted shopping in the latest Android app for Snapchat.
All you'd have to do is point the camera at an object and get a link to the item on Amazon. But neither company is talking about it right now. Uber is getting into the electric scooter business. The ride-hailing company is investing into a scooter company called Lime.
The partnership means Uber's customers will soon be able to rent a Lime scooter through the Uber app. Uber's main rival, Lyft, has also made recent moves into the bike and scooter rental space. This is exciting.
It is expanding,
more ways
too.
To get around.
Those are Tech Bites.
Tech Bites. Sponsored by Carfax.com.
I'm so frustrated. I just want to find a used car without getting ripped off.
You could start your search at the all-new Carfax.com.
That might help. Show me the Carfax.
Now the car you want and the history you need are easy to find.
Show me used trucks with one owner.
Pretty cool.
Show me the Carfax.
Start your used car search and get free Carfax reports at the all-new Carfax.com.
Salads should look like this. Crisp leaves of lettuce, freshly made dressing. Clean food that looks this good. Delivered to your desk. Now delivering to home or office. Panera, food as it should be.
New Digestive Advantage now has probiotics that add good bacteria to your body and prebiotics that feed the bacteria you already have. Together, they support your digestive health. One pill, 2 ways to help you stay strong.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
I will tell him that I am worried. I want him to be healthy, to get enough strength to dive out safely.
This morning, the final rescue is underway in Thailand to bring out the last out of the cave. We're going to hear from the father of one of the boys this half hour.
In Hawaii, lava continues to be a threat to residents. The evacuations that could be necessary still, and how Amazon is getting involved helping volcano victims.
And happening today, how you can score free Chick-fil-A food. But there is one special thing you have to do. Is Ray Collins up to that challenge? We have those stories, plus your Tuesday forecast. It all starts right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Is there an ice bucket involved this time or anything?
No, much worse.
Oh, I'll probably pass.
Okay, no, I think you're going to need to do this one. Welcome to Tuesday morning. I'm Stephanie Webb.
I'm Ray Collins. John Scalzi is in the weather office now. Details of our Tuesday menu, John.
Yeah, pretty much the same as yesterday morning. We still have some showers out in the Gulf. Water's kind of left over from previous thunderstorm activity in North Florida. This has kind of moved out into the Gulf. That is not going to bother us whatsoever, but it will provide a little bit of a nice lightning show as you head out the door this morning in the pre-dawn hours. We'll watch this cluster of showers and storms, which may be of interest if you're planning a well offshore fishing trip this morning. But other than that, I think things are pretty quiet. You can see the multiple lightning pops going on here. This is gradually sinking south into our area, but honestly, it'll be diminishing as it does that, so its impact on our coastal forecast is kind of minimal. We'll watch across our region, all of the roadways staying dry this morning. On the trip home, I think the same. Very quiet conditions. Daytime highs top out again, pretty warm, coming in around 92 degrees, and the UV index high. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in a few.
Breaking news out of Thailand, where we just learned a 9th boy has finally been pulled out of that cave safely. Just 3 to go now, plus the coach. Right now, the total number of boys rescued is 9. All are being sent to a hospital and put under quarantine for now. Rescue workers are hoping to get everyone out before some heavier rains move in there. Reporter Matt Rivers talked to the father of one of the youngest boys about how this whole experience has been for their family.
15 days after he first disappeared, Chanan's bedroom hasn't changed. Bed unmade, a typical young kid's room. His father, Tanawat, wants it to be like that for when the 11-year-old makes it out of the cave.
He's been playing football since he was young, and he started it just at age 8 or 9. He wants to be a professional football player.
On June 23rd, he told his mom he was going to football practice. The next time she saw his newly gaunt face was in this video, taken shortly after the team was discovered on July 2nd, 9 days after they disappeared. No phone lines could be established, so the parents wrote letters to their kids, and their kids wrote back. Chanan, the youngest one inside, showed bravery beyond his years.
He said he was fine there, and not to be so worried about him.
The rescue operation is now underway, and all Chanan's parents and the others can do is wait and hope for the best. The children's young lives in the hands of an international team of divers tasked with carrying out a rescue the world is watching.
I know they work so hard and to their best trying to take the children and coach out.
Before the operation began, we asked Tanawat what he would say to his son, still sitting on a small piece of land hundreds of feet below the surface.
I will tell him that I am worried. I want him to be healthy, to get enough strength to dive out safely.
Now, Chanan has that chance. In his letter to his parents, he wrote that he'd like his uncle to take him for fried chicken as soon as he gets out. His dad, looking at his son's picture, told us, no problem, whatever he wants. Just make it out okay. Matt Rivers, CNN in Chiang Rai, Thailand.
Also in the Far East, floodwater in Japan has killed over 130 people, and dozens more are still missing. Rescuers are still combing through mud-covered hillsides and riverbanks. More than 50 people were unaccounted for as of this morning, many in the hardest-hit Hiroshima area. Cleanup is underway right now. Some of the thousands of residents who have been evacuated began to clean up after the rain stopped on Monday. Thousands of homes are still without clean water or electricity. All right, checking first alert traffic back in this area right now. We'll see some issues there way up on toward Holmes Beach. Very unusual spot there for congestion as you head up in that direction. Also State Road 70 in the westbound lane. Checking farther south down the map, we'll find out in the northern half of Sarasota County. The only area in the red is on Clark Road in the westbound lane as you approach Honore. And then our final map to the south will show not much to report. A little buildup there on State Road 72, Clark Road, as you're heading westbound towards Sarasota County.
Well, another day, another roundabout planned here on the Suncoast. This one on 15th Street and Martin Luther King Avenue in Bradenton. Can't get my words out today.
It's exciting. Marla Spence has a preview of an event tonight involving this project. Marla?
Good morning, guys. In a little under 2 weeks, this intersection at 9th Avenue East and 15th Street will be closed to traffic. The Florida Department of Transportation says they're going to be putting a new roundabout in this area. Now take a look. This is the intersection where they'll be doing that. Now many who do live in this area or commute near this intersection know that this area could get really congested during rush hour traffic hours because many use that road as a shortcut to get to State Road 64 or US 301. Now to help with the congestion, FDOT found it necessary to place a roundabout in this area, and construction is expected to start the week of July 23rd. Now, in an effort to getting the community informed on all the details surrounding the new roundabout, FDOT is hosting a public meeting tonight between 6 to 8, and that meeting will be taking place at Rogers Community Methodist Church. At that meeting, FDOT will be giving drivers the opportunity to ask questions and also make comments about the project that'll start late July and in spring of 2019. Reporting live in Bradenton, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. Vote by mail ballots for the August primary will soon be in the mail for military and overseas civilian voters. The Sarasota County Supervisor of Elections, Ron Turner, says more than 1,400 ballots will be mailed this Friday for the August 28th election. Nearly 59,000 additional ballots are expected to be mailed to domestic voters in the next 2 weeks. Completed ballots must be received no later than 7 p.m. on Election Day.
Well, a massive gator suspected in the deaths of 2 dogs has been captured. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office and Florida Fish and Wildlife captured this massive 13-foot gator at Shamrock Park in Venice, calling it one of the largest that they have ever captured in their history. Now, that's where a German shepherd running free without a leash was killed last week by a gator. The other shepherd is still missing.
Gator hotspot right down there. It's a nature reserve, and even in the neighborhood right next door we have gators and ponds.
Now, Florida Fish and Wildlife says they should know for sure in the next few days if this was the gator that killed those dogs.
In a related story, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission wants more people to register to hunt for gators. In fact, today the FWC is making more than 1,000 permits available for alligator harvests. Each permit will allow the holder to take 2 gators as long as they're not babies. You can apply for one of these permits starting tomorrow. To learn how to become a certified gator hunter, go to our website at mysuncoast.com.
Well, how would you like to spend your life if money wasn't an issue? Well, the new buzz phrase these days is financial freedom. But just how do you get to that point? Reporter Reed Binion has a closer look in today's Consumer Watch.
Can you imagine being financially independent in 5 years? It sounds too good to be true, but it is possible.
If you have choices in your life to step away sometimes, to take a year off, to travel, that's true financial freedom.
So how do you get there? First, financial experts say establish an emergency savings fund. Most people working toward financial independence live below their means and save about half their income.
Where people struggle is they want financial freedom and they want all the things right now in terms of goods, whether that's a car, the house, the clothes, the this and that. So they want all of these things immediately, plus they want freedom.
Second, get rid of your debt. The sooner you do this, the closer you'll be to making choices like taking a year off to travel or starting your own business. And third, create extra income. Experts recommend you work a side gig or buy property to rent to others.
And over time, the mortgage gets paid off, and now you're still generating income from that property every single month.
Once you've built your emergency reserve and paid off your debts, you can start investing and build some serious wealth.
The sooner you can get to 20% of your gross income going to retirement, the sooner you can actually retire.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Reed Binion.
Well, there you go. Some young performers at the West Coast Black Theater Troupe's summer camp are almost ready for their season-ending show. This is the third year of the theater's 5-week-long Stage of Discovery camp. We talked to one 15-year-old from Manatee School for the Arts who says she learns more every day.
It's something new every time I come. It's great. I learn professionalism in theater, and I learn how to, you know, the proper mannerisms, you know, talking to an audience rather than one person, and it's really a great experience.
And if you are looking for something a little different to do this weekend, tickets are still available for 3 performances of Broadway in Black by the West Coast Black Theater Troupe. Tickets are still available for both Sunday and Monday night shows.
Tigers, gators, geckos. What would be the best mascot for the new high school in Manatee County? Construction is now underway for North River High on Erie Road. It opens a year from August. The school district now is asking for your help to choose a mascot. You can mail your choice in to the School Support Center. Once the nomination period is over, a committee will narrow the list down to 4 to 6 options. Then middle schoolers in that area will make the final decision.
All right, folks, you want some free Chick-fil-A today? Well, you can score some free food all day, and all you have to do is dress like a cow. The fast food chain is celebrating their 14th annual Cow Appreciation Day by giving a free entree to every customer wearing a cow-themed costume. All you cow appreciators will have to do it in person, though. It doesn't work with the app, obviously. Even kids can get in the game, too. They can get a free kids meal. And if you think no one actually does this, Ray, think again. According to the company, almost 2 million people last year dressed up like a cow to get their free Chick-fil-A.
John Scalzi still has the costume in his back seat.
He does. He's going to do it later on today. And we're going to have some great pictures tomorrow. Right, John Scalzi?
So I got to rent a $100 costume to get a $2 sandwich? Is that?
We're going to make a homemade costume for John.
Okay.
Still ahead, how Amazon is getting involved to help volcano victims in Hawaii. We'll have that story in the way. But first, an utter disaster on that one promo idea. But first, here's the forecast.
Oh, that was moving. We have across the region higher today. Fire danger index in the Charlotte County area, also in Sarasota. We're in the moderate region now for our area. Could use a little rainfall around here. We're not going to see it today, though. We stay dry once again. Air quality index slightly better than yesterday. We're still in the kind of moderate region, but still no problems whatsoever for anyone, really. Particulate matter is the major contributor to that. Dust, smoke, that sort of thing. So we'll look today for another warm, sunny, mild day with a little chance of rainfall. We'll talk about when those rains might return coming up in just a few.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
My name's Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs, stop the crimes.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Current air temperature coming in at 76 degrees. We have a dew point value coming in at 74. The combination of the two really doesn't alter the temperature all that much. So we have a heat index exactly the same as the air temperature. We're just at that borderline when we'll start talking about heat indexes, which we will this afternoon, no doubt about it. We'll be looking at, with a dew point value of 74, heat index is close to 100 again. Hit 92 yesterday, and we'll probably do about the same again today. So 78 degrees by 7 a.m., mix of fair weather clouds and clear skies. And then as we head to the noontime hour, the heat gets turned on, looking at 90 around that time. And we'll have a kind of a prolonged period of several hours in a row of temperatures that'll be in the 90s. So it's going to be kind of a sweltering afternoon, 92 by 3 with 10% chance of showers, 10%. That's it. Normally, on a typical summer day at this time of year, you'd be looking at a 50% chance of rainfall. So clearly, some drier air has kind of turned off the Florida rain machine right now. We have a 7 p.m. temperature coming in the 80s. So we had a little trough of low pressure sinking southward that kicked off showers. Now that's moved into the Gulf, and that line of showers is helping to produce the stuff we see out there in the Gulf waters, the flashes of lightning. None of that is a bother to us. It remains out in the Gulf, drifting further and further away from the Florida coastline. Drier air continues to sink in behind that line of showers, and that is what is going to limit our rainfall chance today. Dry across the region currently. Morning commute, fine. There's crisp, looking pretty impressive at this hour, actually. What it's tending to do is around the periphery of all this cloud. Well, what goes up must come down, right? So as you lift that air and create these clouds along the periphery, what comes up must go down, and you get sinking air. That dries air out, sinking air does, and you get this dry slop that comes around the edge of our tropical storm and reduces the rain chances across the state of Florida. So what we need to do is move Chris out of here and start to twist our winds more to a southerly direction, and then that will help to restore our rainfall chances. Probably won't happen until later this weekend. We also have all the remnants of Beryl just continuing to drift across parts of Hispaniola and Puerto Rico, unfortunately, bringing more heavy rain showers there. That will eventually lift northward, maybe strengthen, and once it does that, perhaps we might see it regenerate. If it does, anyway, it moves out into the open waters of the Atlantic. Maybe the Bahamas gets a hit, but it won't be much. And it just produces some, nuisance showers out in the open waters of the Gulf. For boating today, northwest wind comes in at about 10. We'll look for a light chop. Nice day, actually, out on the waters. Just watch out for that one line of showers well offshore. Nearshore water should be fine, though. 2-foot seas, light chop, should be nice boating weather. So we look today at a daytime high that again tops out warm, around 92. Tomorrow about the same, 10%, that's it. Chance of rainfall with that drier air in place. We'll start to twist the winds, bring in a little trough of low pressure to our south, enhance the rainfall chances with some extra moisture. And as we head into the weekend, we'll start to up our rain chances just a little bit, up to about 40%. So that's pretty good. We'll probably see a few showers around over the weekend. And then as we head into next work week, we'll keep that 40% chance of rain. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, John. Let's take a look outside and check out your first alert traffic. Starting off in Manatee County, those roads are looking pretty okay so far right now. Our typical delays at 301, which is definitely seeing a lot of red right there at the intersection of State Road 70. So already a lot of traffic there this morning. Heading into Sarasota County, those roads are also looking pretty decent. Nothing really major to talk about there. A little farther south in the area, if you're taking 75 or 41 towards Port Charlotte, both of those roads are running pretty smooth so far this morning. It is 5:50, and that is your first alert traffic. Breaking news just into our newsroom. We have been following this all morning for you. A 10th boy has now just been brought out of that Thailand cave. So now we're up to just 2 more boys and the coach that are left. Rescue workers are now hoping to get everyone out quickly before those heavier rains move in. Keep tuned to ABC 7. Make sure you check our app online and keep it tuned right here. We're going to have the latest for you on that. And then over on the big island of Hawaii, lava there continues to spread this morning. Nearby residents are being warned to get ready for a voluntary evacuation if necessary. Now, the number of homes destroyed so far from all of that lava flow has hit the 700 mark, but that actually could increase. FEMA says more than 2,000 people have now registered for assistance. Almost $5 million in individual aid has now been approved, along with about $7.5 million for small businesses.
An online giant now has partnered with the Hawaii Food Bank to send support to volcano victims. Amazon put together and gave nearly 500 hygiene kits for those affected by the eruption. Inside those kits, shampoo, baby wipes, toothpaste, and a short note from Amazon.
It was a tailor-made kit. They have never done this before. They've always had ready-made kits ready to go, but we sat down and they asked us what they wanted or what we would want in a kit.
The food bank is working with Amazon to send even more items to the Big Island in the near future.
Well, actor Johnny Depp has been in the news a lot lately for some not so great behavior. He's now being sued, accused of punching a location manager on the City of Lies movie set. The LA Times reports that Rocky Brooks says that the incident took place in April of last year as he was trying to enforce permit restrictions outside of a hotel in downtown LA. Brooks says that Depp got angry with him after he told him he had to wrap up the shoot. Brooks says that Depp yelled at him and punched him twice in the ribs. Now, Brooks says that Depp offered to give him $100,000 to punch him in the face. The director of the movie tells People magazine that the incident is being, quote, exaggerated, and that Depp always treats the crew and the people there with respect.
Just like in our studio. 5:52 right now, should see a high of 92 degrees today. We'll have the day's top news headlines straight ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Hunger is a growing problem in our area, and a huge number of Suncoast residents are suffering in silence.
It could be your coworker,
your child's classmate,
or your friend fighting to secure their next meal. But you can help.
ABC 7 is partnering with local organizations to help feed the Suncoast.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to join the fight. Help us.
Help the hungry.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves him green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
Thank you. What are you doing?
You are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit helpsavethenextgirl.com and get involved.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
It is 5:55, and here are some of the headlines that we've been finding for you on the Suncoast today.
Federal Appeals Court Judge Brett Kavanaugh will make the rounds on Capitol Hill today. President Trump chose him last night as his Supreme Court nominee.
Plus, a 10th boy has now been pulled out of that Thailand cave, leaving just 2 to go, plus the coach. All the boys so far have been taken to local hospitals where they are placed under quarantine.
And a Bradenton youth group is back home after being stranded in Haiti over the weekend. Riots in Port-au-Prince over gas prices delayed the group of 28 for 2 extra days in Haiti.
All right, we've got a full hour of news next, and we have some breaking news about George Clooney. He was injured in an overseas motorcycle accident, so we're going to have that story for you too.
All right, stay with us. Second hour of Good Morning Suncoast straight ahead on ABC 7.